Welcome
You're
to
fine.
another episode of the Arkansas Football Report with Otis Kirk. Otis, so much to get into, a lot of portal talk, a lot of young kids. Let's get
Definitely.
in with Tyrone Broden. Broden?
Yeah. From Bowling Green University, 6'7", 210-pound wide receiver. Will, this kid's tall. I mean, he fits right in with Isaac and Andrew that they have signed. And I'm telling you, this kid has got offers to. He went into the portal, and the next day Arkansas offered him, but he's got it. He was here this weekend. He left Saturday. He's down to Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Penn State, and pretty good company. He had a good career at Bowling Green, but he's going to go out and place, take advantage of the transfer portal, and just like I said, Andrew Armstrong 6'5", Isaac Slay is 6'4". You're getting these tall kids at receiver. There are some mismatches for opposing defensive backs. Tyrone would be a good fit here. I think Arkansas is in good shape there. Now, I've heard other people say they think OU is, but I really think Arkansas is in pretty good shape with this kid. We'll see. I mean, he's going to sign, and classes start on Tuesday. It would be Monday, except for Dr. King's birthday or Dr. King's holiday on Monday. And so they will start classes on Tuesday. My understanding is, and I may be wrong on this, but I don't think I am. My understanding is kids have to be enrolled by Friday, be enrolled by Friday to be able to play to attend Arkansas this semester. I think that's the cutoff date. It's the 20th.
That's coming
But
up.
anyway, yeah, that's definitely coming up. And so that's why I said a decision's coming for him and some of these other kids pretty quick, because I'm sure other schools are pretty much on a similar timeline as far as classes beginning. They vary from school to school, but we're concerned about Arkansas. We're not really concerned about those others. But he's 6'7", 210. If Arkansas can get him, they would have beaten Penn State, and it's not just Penn State and Oklahoma. He got a bunch of offers once he went into the portal. He got a bunch of offers. So I mean, he's more than that. But he has taken official visits to those three schools. So we'll see where he ends up. But I feel pretty good about Arkansas on that one.
Yeah, no, it'd be really cool if we could get him. It's not the only wide receiver we're going to talk about, but I promise you we'd go in order. So let's go to Juan, right? Mitchell, linebacker from
Juwan Mitchell.
Tennessee.
Juwan Mitchell, and I've got a very interesting story to tell on him. When he came out of Butler County Community College, he took an official visit to Arkansas. He was supposed to be looking for an apartment. So, man, he was, private commitment. I was told, looking for an apartment and everything. Next thing I know, he commits to Texas. So, and he went there for 2 years, and then he played at Tennessee for 2 years. Arkansas had him in also for an official visit, like they did with Broden. Both of them left yesterday. Mitchell is interesting. He's a linebacker. And this kid can play. Now, he was an All-America at Butler County as a freshman. He's a big-time player. He had a good season at Tennessee this year. Had an interception, like 40-something tackles. But like I said, it's kind of a second chance for Arkansas. They had a first chance at him, and they didn't get him. They thought they had him. That was obviously a different staff. But he went to Texas, played 2 years, then went to Tennessee. Juwan is the type kid that can step in. He'll have one season to play. He's only got one season. He will step in somewhere and play immediately, just like he has at his other stops. Like I said, this kid was a stud at Butler County Community College back in 2018, I want to say. So, I mean, he's been around. It's been around for a while. But with the COVID year, he's got an extra season to play, and he will use that somewhere. And we'll see if it's Arkansas. I think he's probably going to announce in the next – I would look for him to do something in the next 24 to 36 hours, Will.
Yeah, if he
Like I
were to
said,
come to Arkansas, do you see him making a Drew sort of impact?
I don't think he's a Drew Sanders impact. I don't think he's the pass rusher Drew or the sack, but I could see him making a definite big time. He and Antonio Greer, you put them in there with guys like Chris Paul, Pooh Paul, Jordan Crook, and those guys. You've solidified. I could see Antonio Greer and Juwan kind of filling the bumper pool Drew Sanders role in the sense that you had two older linebackers. But I think Pooh's going to be definitely in the mix. Jordan Crook played well in the bowl game, but you can't get too many good players. But just like most of these kids that we're talking about, I think they haven't made a decision. Some of them we're going to talk about have made a decision. I'm talking about the portal kid. These decisions are coming pretty quickly, Will, because there's not time to wait around because, like I said, I believe the cutoff date is Friday to be in class. And so it's coming up. And so now you've got to get that decision made. And that's why I feel pretty good that Juwan will commit somewhere or sign somewhere in the next 24 to 36 hours and maybe sooner. He could do it sooner, but I feel at the most by tomorrow night at 8 or 9 o'clock, I think we will have known for sure where he's going to college at the latest. 8 or 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock tomorrow night. Like I said, classes start Tuesday. If you're coming here, you don't have to be here the first day, but you don't want to get behind academically. You don't want to get behind.
Miss syllabus week.
You didn't have to rush through because with travel, I mean, flights get canceled all the time. You don't want to get in a situation where you're depending on a flight to be somewhere at the last minute because you can watch KNWA news, the NBC national news, and hear all the time of these flights getting canceled. So you don't want to wait around to the last minute. And that's why I feel pretty good that both those kids, he and Broden, I think Broden could go down today one way or the other. And I think Mitchell, it could be today, but I think, like I said, I think these kids, you're going to start hearing a lot on the next, this picture's going to get pretty clear in the next 24 to 36 hours.
Yeah. I mean, it is really stressful. You got syllabus week, you got classes to get into, you got an department, which we just talked about there. There's so much stuff that goes into it. Not that football isn't stressful enough in itself.
Yeah, and you've got weather issues if you're driving. You just don't want to wait and put this off to the last minute. You've got to get this decision made because you got cutoff dates on enrollment. And so I feel pretty good that we'll know something on these two kids by tomorrow night and probably sooner on Tyrone. I honestly think he can commit today to somewhere.
Yeah, that linebacker room is going to be an interesting one.
Be at State.
Yeah, let's get back to that wide receiver room. One coming out of Hillsdale College, Isaac Tisla.
Honestly, I feel bad because I talked to the kid and his mother and dad for probably 20 minutes and never even asked him how to pronounce his last name. That's pretty sad.
Most important part.
Sloppy on my part, but I know how to spell it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a writer, so
that's the most important thing.
But I went blank on being on TV for 30 minutes a week. No, that was sloppy on my part. I should have asked him how to pronounce it. But he's attending Arkansas. He chose Arkansas about 10 o'clock Monday night. He was here. What was it? Thursday and Friday of week before last when they did that 5-day visits. He was here Thursday, Friday. He had already been to Iowa State, and Purdue. He left here and went to Colorado. And then about 10 o'clock, a little after 10 o'clock on Monday night, he chose Arkansas. And so he's here. He and Andrew Armstrong are in the class. What appealed to those kids, and I'm sure it appealed to Broden as well. Arkansas lost their top 4 receivers from last year, statistics-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Not just the 3 receivers, but you lose Trey Knox at tight end. Those 4 kids, Keytron, Jaden, Matt, and Trey caught most passes on.
Yeah, a lot of looks.
Yeah, and one thing that really Arkansas has done a good job of selling the fact that Jaden Hazelwood and Matt Landers played 1 year at Arkansas, yet they were the 2 leading receivers on the team. They made a point to tell these kids and put it out there to them in black and white in print where they can see it. If you come here and you're the best, you're going to get the chance to do it. And you got a quarterback. They know they've got a quarterback, KJ Jefferson, that can get them the ball. So I think that's helped Arkansas with these. Well, I know it's helped Arkansas with these receivers. I know it has. They've told me that. And so that's huge. And so, Isaac is here. These are kids. People ask me about these recruiting kids for smaller schools. I mean, this is a kid, Isaac, played at a high school that had 22 players on the team, total players, 22. He played quarterback. So naturally, he didn't get looks at receiver because he was at a small school. That's how people get overlooked. And that's where the transfer portal, I think, if you're Hillsdale, you probably disagree because you get a good player, you get a steal, and then he leaves you. But that's where I think the transfer portal comes in. I mean, Andrew Armstrong went to Texas A&M Commerce and then blew up, caught 60-something passes this season. Now he's at Arkansas. It robs the smaller schools, but it also gives these kids a second chance that got overlooked for whatever reason in high school. All the stories are not the same, but there's a common theme. They all got overlooked in high school and they signed with a smaller. It's just like I asked people, they're talking about this. I said, how long would Scottie Pippen have lasted at UCA in this day and age? I mean, he went to UCA. I mean, you don't think
It's a
every
good
major
one.
college would be camped out down at UCA
Oh, I
recruiting
can't even
Scottie
imagine.
Pippen? I mean, that's what I'm getting at. I mean, I
Hmm.
talked to, people, there's been other kids, when these schools get a kid like that now, they're probably going to lose them. It's just the way it is. Be it what it is. I mean, that's just the way it's set up till this transfer portal has changed.
Hmm.
And I don't know, but I think in some ways it's good because it does give a kid like Isaac and Andrew and even Tyrone Bro, who went to Bowling Green. I think it gives kids a chance to go play in a Power Five because no matter where Tyrone picks, it's going to be Power Five as long as it's one of his three visits, OU, Penn State, and Arkansas. It gives them a chance to go to compete in Power Five and show the NFL scouts what they can do, Will. Because basically that's what most of these kids are looking at is they want to play in the NFL. All these kids I talk to think they're going to play in the NFL. We know they're not going to, all of them, but
Yeah. You got to
it's
have
just
the mindset.
but well, yeah, you got to have that mindset. You don't want a kid well, I can't. I don't think I can play at Arkansas. I know I can't play in the NFL. I mean, you don't want that. That's not what you're looking for. So, and it's not always talent. You may get a bad injuries. There's going to be various reasons, but some kids just never make it to the NFL. But they think they're going to, and this will give them a chance to play in the SEC where they will get seen against playing against the best. You're playing the LSU's, you're playing the Alabamas, you're playing the Georgia, you're playing the Auburns, the Tennessees, A&M's. Every week is basically a bowl game in the SEC. And this, with the schedule Arkansas had this year, basically every game was a bowl game. I mean, you had
Yeah.
BYU, Liberty, Cincinnati. So you basically had a bowl game every week, plus all the SEC teams they played. So I mean, it lets you know where you stand as a player, prospect, and what you can do to get better. Will, I mean, I think that's a positive aspect of the transfer portal. We can name the negatives, we can name the
Hmm.
positives, but I think that's a positive of it. It does give these chances. These kids that got simply overlooked in high school for whatever reason, some because they played a small school, played out of position, or maybe they were hurt. It gives them a second chance, kind of a second chance at a career, and it'll help them get in the NFL. You can get the NFL from any college in America, but you can get better from the SEC because they know what you can do. When you go against those teams that I named in the Kentuckys and the Mississippis and the Mississippi States, when you go against teams like that, they know what you can do, and it takes out a lot of the guess factor in it, I guess is one way to describe it, or the unknown.
Yeah.
They see what they know. They're going to know what KJ Jefferson could do, what Rocket Sanders, what Jaden Hazelwood, Ricky Stromberg, and those kids are. They're going to know what they can do when they go to the NFL.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Talking about the negatives, a lot of kids going to Colorado. What's your thought
Yeah.
there? Yeah.
Oh,
I don't want to get too sidetracked, but
I know, but no, I mean, Prime's doing a good job recruiting. He got Jordan Dominic, he got Miles Slusher, he got two starters off of Arkansas's defense. Wish
tough.
those kids good luck. Yeah, you got two starters. Well, I guess Dominic may have not started a lot, but he played a lot. I don't know
Yeah, he
actually
made an
how many games
impact.
he actually started, but he was in the rotation. He probably played as many or more snaps than people who start. But basically, I'll say this, and this is a fair statement that Prime got two very good players off the Arkansas defense. So I'll leave it at that because I can't remember how many games Jordan actually started, but I do know he was in the rotation, played just as much as anybody, and did a heck of a job, man. And he was
Yeah.
1 year at Arkansas, and then Slusher had 3 years, I believe, at Arkansas minus one game there at the end. But no, I mean, he's done a good. He's going to recruit well. That's one thing he can do. It's going to depend how well they do on the field. Time will tell on that. He sure did well at Jackson State. I know that. I mean, I heard people criticizing him for leaving Jackson State. Look, man, the guy got 10 times or more what he was making at Jackson State in salary. He's coaching Power Five. Come on, people. If you had a chance to leave your job for pay that was 10 to 20 times more than what you're getting, an upgrade in the work, you're going to take it. And don't criticize somebody else for doing something that you would do yourself.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, come on. If somebody comes in and offers me that much more than what I'm making, I mean, I'm not looking for a job, but I'm not going to turn a blind eye to it. I mean, it's just silly to criticize a guy for that. He didn't owe Jackson State anything. The guy did what, like I said, he did whatever 99.9% of the people criticizing him would have done the same thing in his position. So I have no issue with Prime. I hope he does well. I can see why kids like him. He played for the Yankees. He played pro football. Guy was a heck of an athlete, man. He did a great job at Jackson State. Well, I mean, I can see why kids like him. We'll
Yeah.
see what happens out there. I mean, like I said, he's going to eventually go. He's going to be determined by how well his teams play on the field. Right now, he's got a lot of glitz and glamour because of who he is, coming from Jackson State. And, you know, it shines on him right now because he hasn't lost a game at Colorado. It's just like when you hire a new coach and they're undefeated at your school, the greatest thing is to slice bread, and then they start losing. We'll see, you know. And I'm not saying, he goes, I don't know how you'll do, but I think, I honestly, that's not an easy job, but I think it's a job that's doable if you get the right coach. That is the key at these places. I mean, I'd go on the SEC network and they'd talk about Arkansas was a 2-10 team and this and that. And I said, guys, I've got a 14-year window that tells me that Arkansas is not that type program that you're talking about. 10 years of Houston Nutt, 4 years of Bobby Petrino, 14 years they went to 11 bowl games. Somebody went to two championship games, I believe. And so I got a 14 straight year window, 11 bowls in 14 years. When you make bad hires, it makes the program look bad. But then Sam Pittman comes in 3 years, 2 bowl games, would have been a third had COVID not hit TCU. This stuff about Arkansas being a perennial 2-10, 3-11, or 3-9 team or something. I never bought that. I argued with them on the SEC network when they had me on. I mean, Arkansas is not a 4-8, 2-10 program. You've got to hire the right coach. And when you get the right coach, you can win at Arkansas.
Yeah, no, I hear you, Otis. Life's pretty easy when you're getting 5 stars at Jackson State, but we'll see what he can do at a school like Colorado.
The competition level is going up a few notches now for him. You know, you're playing different programs than you played at Jackson State, but you should have better players. Now he had some good 5-star, but you should have more better players than you had Jackson State to go against. I think he'll do well out there. I'm not saying he'll do.
Oh,
great.
No. I'm not rooting against him. I got nothing against Coach Prime. I like him as a guy. I like what he does. I like his. I like the work that he does media wise too. I like him as a personality. I'm wishing that whole team all the best. I don't want that to be taken the wrong way. But Otis, let's get back on track. Charleston, Charlie, right? Charlie Collins.
Charlie Collins.
D-line. Let's switch over to the defense.
30 offers, 2024 defensive lineman from Mills High School. 30 offers. He narrowed it down to a top 12 I say recently. It was a couple of months ago. Arkansas made the cut, obviously. He was here for a prospect day yesterday. I mean, it's a who's who of college football has offered him. And like I said, he narrowed it to 12, but he's got 18 other offers. He can go anywhere he wants to go. The kid was on the show with, I want to say that was me and Courtney.
Is he that good?
Yeah, he's really good. He's real good. He was on here with, and I want to say it was Courtney. It was my first day back from being in the hospital. It was my first show after being in the hospital. And he came on with us. And I believe it was Courtney that I was on here with. But anyway, regardless of that, yeah, he had a good show. And, you know, he talked about what he liked about Arkansas and stuff. He was here yesterday. He got to meet the new defensive coordinator. Still got Deke Adams coaching the defensive line. Mm-hmm. I think that helps. This is the first time under Sam Pittman they've had the same defensive line coach returning. So I think that part helps. But we'll you know, I mean, but Charlie's got a lot of options. But I think Arkansas, LSU's in the mix strong. You know, Ole Miss, but I think Arkansas has got a really good shot at him. Texas is in there, but as I said, it's who's who of college football recruiting him, and he's not near a decision, but I think that he's been up here countless times. Will I will say that he made it pretty clear when he was on here that he liked Arkansas. He liked the fact that Sam Pittman, Deke Adams, and them offered him, and I think it helps Arkansas in the sense that Deke is by all counts, returning for another year. I mean, I haven't heard anything to make me think different. I know he's still out here recruiting. He's still here, So, barring some in coaching business, anything can happen. But I've not heard anything to make me think that Deke won't be here next year. And so I think that helps Arkansas. But he's a good ball player, Charlie. He's about 6'5", probably 265 pounds, and could play. He played at Pine Bluff till this season. Then he transferred to Mills for his junior year and took them to the state playoffs. They got beat in the second round by Shiloh. But yeah, he's a good player. He's a real good player. He's a 4-star, probably could be a 5-star if you want to be honest about it. I wouldn't argue if they had him rated a 5-star. I wouldn't argue at all. I wouldn't dispute that whatsoever.
Yeah, when you got 30 offers, it's tough to make a decision like that. Hopefully, he can make it by Friday. And I'm sure he will. Hopefully, Arkansas can get him. He sounds like a great player.
Yeah, he's a great player. He's a good kid too. He really is. He's polite. He's very, very open. Communication. I mean, he'll answer the phone if you call him. He'll text you. He called me when I was thinking about going down there. Something came up. I don't remember what. They changed the date or something on it. Something I was going to. He didn't just text me. He called me to let me know that they had changed it and didn't want me to drive down for nothing. And a lot of kids wouldn't do that. I mean, he took out of his time, like I said, to call me and explain, to tell me, they had changed, the coach had changed the date on something. It's been a while, but anyway, he's a good kid too. So I hope Arkansas gets him in the sense that, it'll help their team, but he's going to have a good career if he stays healthy wherever he goes.
Yeah, absolutely. Otis, the last thing that we need to talk about, a couple kids from the River Valley, Kobe Branham and Cody Taylor. I'm sure they have Arkansas offers.
No, neither one has an Arkansas offer, but Kobe Branham got offered by A&M and Bobby Petrino this week. And, but then, Cody Taylor has been offered by Ole Miss and Kentucky. So both of them are big. Kobe, and he was named after Kobe Bryant, was a 2024 kid, and Cody Taylor is 2026. And so those are the kids that Arkansas is. Cody Kendi went down to see both of them yesterday and talked to them and had a good visit with them. So, I mean, or a good visit at school. He can't talk to them. We had a good visit with them at the school. And so we'll see how it goes. But both these kids are somebody I think Arkansas will offer in time. And, will offer in time. And so we'll see how that goes. Yes, I'm sorry I'm distracted because Tyrone Broden just tweeted out and I'm making sure it's not a commitment. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm not ignoring it. I'm not. I don't do this when I'm on here, but Tyrone Broden tweeted out he did commit. He did commit
to Arkansas.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
Owen Green, wide receiver. That's what he tweeted, and I was expecting this. So he's committed to Arkansas.
Oh, yes. That's great. Wow, look at us.
Got a little breaking news right here.
I don't think we've had one of those yet during our segment.
No, and I don't usually look off and get on the phone when I'm on this. That's pretty rude. But I when I saw him tweet, I knew it was coming. I had been told probably to expect this today, and I didn't have a time, but this is something I expected, and we can say right now, Tyrone Broden, you can forget all the stuff I said. Well, you can remember the stuff I said, but yeah, he's committed to Arkansas, and I felt like he told him yesterday he was coming.
That's awesome. Well, Otis, let's switch here. Could he have an immediate impact?
Yeah, 6'7", 210. He's the third wide receiver from the portal who's jumping in here with Arkansas, so he will definitely have an impact, and that gives them a chance to replace the 3 receivers they lost. I'm not saying necessarily that the other kids that's here won't get a chance to start.
Oh, for sure.
But you've got Jaden, Matt, and Keytron are gone. You bring in Andrew, you bring in Isaac, and you bring in Tyrone. So you've replaced the kids you lost at wide receiver. Now you've got to get a tight end. But yeah, Tyrone Broden will definitely be an impact player, and that's a good pickup for the Razorbacks.
Awesome.
I had a feeling it was coming. They beat OU
and
Kent State and others to get him. He took visits to all 3 schools. So yeah, that is definitely something.
Yeah, so happy for him. That's very exciting. Can't believe we're breaking news there. Is there anything else that we need to talk about on Kobe or Cody's end?
Well, just Kobe, like I said, has been offered by A&M. Cody Kendi went down there Friday, and went to the school at Southside. He went to school at Greenwood. Cody Taylor, the same thing. He can't talk to those kids, but they had a good. He got to see them. It gives Arkansas an appearance at their school. They have both those kids. By the way, what I will add this: both of them will be here Saturday for Prospect Day at Arkansas this coming Saturday.
That's
Kobe
awesome.
and
Yeah.
Cody.
I can't imagine that the Hogs wouldn't offer them if A&M
they
and
will
Ole Miss.
offer. It's just a matter of time. I mean, I think Cody Kennedy's a little bit slower on offering younger kids than maybe some other coaches are. But no, both those kids, I'm pretty sure will get offers to Arkansas. Maybe probably sooner rather than later, but eventually anyway.
Awesome. Well, Otis, we really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for jumping on with us. I'm not going to. Nope. And even Zoom is like, yep, you're done. We appreciate your time, Otis. Thank you so much. Man. And don't forget to tune in next week for another episode of your Arkansas football recruiting report. See you later, Otis.